Up next, though, we have, in fact, a big guest on Middle East investment looking for growth in Asia. We're talking to a leading Kuwaiti investor on why the Far East is so attractive. Ahmad Al-Hamad, in fact, joins me now, the Group MD of Asia Investments and also the CEO of parent company, Kuwait China Investment Company. So, do the events in Syria have any effect at all on sentiment between the Middle East and emerging Asia? Joining me now is Ahmad Al-Hamad, Group Managing Director at Asia Investments, and also the head of, in fact, Kuwait China Investment, the company, the parent company. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
I won't dwell on this because really do hear about investment strategy, but I do want to ask, the Middle Eastern tensions, particularly Syria, does it affect your reception in Asia? Does it affect your strategy in Asia, looking to Asia? How have you been...
I don't think there's a direct impact on our reception in Asia, but I think it has direct impact on oil prices. In a softening environment of demand, I think Syria has kept oil prices at the level they've been.
Now, you're here, actually, you've opened your office in Hong Kong in April. You're here for a week, and you've just come from Beijing. What's the sort of, what's your take on it so far? I mean, people say slow down and so on and so forth, but do you see growth?
I think China today is very much about maintaining the growth rates that the government has stated it wants to have for the economy. So the new government is very pro-stimulus. We anticipate that the Chinese economy will continue to grow at the rates we've seen in the last few quarters. We continue to monitor the risks that are obviously topical to everyone's minds, such as the shadow banking environment and the lending or the excessive lending in some people's views. But we remain quite confident that China will continue to grow for the next few quarters.
Was that a big talking point in Beijing, the risks about shadow banking?
We spoke to a few people, but what I found more interesting was anecdotal evidence of the fact that the economy was bustling. I mean, Beijing, walking around Beijing, and I tend to travel quite often to Asia, but Beijing has been a city I haven't visited for some time. And to see a remarkable change in terms of the amount of people that are out there consuming, and it's a palpable sense of the middle class.
When you go there, what kind of questions, and who are you meeting, and what kind of questions are you asking to develop your strategy in Asia?
Well, we're keen on investing in Asia, across Asia, in terms of sectors that we think will...
ex-Japan, right?
Asia, ex-Japan, that will grow because of the domestic consumption story. So we speak to people across sectors that we like to invest in that will grow through those sort of growth markets. We look at energy, infrastructure, financial services, domestic consumption sectors such as, discretionary and stable sectors.
And how much money are you going to pull towards Asia? Away from perhaps, I believe that Middle Eastern companies or investment companies are very heavily overexposed, arguably, to the Western economies, namely Europe, and therefore you're trying to move that away to Asia because there's less or more opportunity.
Correct. Most institutional investors and investors in general have been very much developed market investors. Our goal is to try and educate the investor universe from the Middle East and help them access opportunities across Asia. Currently, I think allocations of large sovereigns from the region are around 17%. We anticipate that over the course of the next 10 years or 5 to 10 years, that allocation should double in size.
Based on your growth in Asia?
Based on growth and based on basically where GDP levels are globally and what contribution of GDP Asia will have.
You mentioned a few ideas, energy, infrastructure, etc. I mean, what is really appealing on the radar for you right now that you really want to just throw money at?
I want to throw money.
Not throw money, put it in your mouth. Allocate money to.
Well, I mean, we look at pockets of value that I think today, just from a capital markets perspective, it's all about stock picking. The beta play is really not there anymore. Within infrastructure, for example, one of the areas we like a lot is healthcare and education. So it's not your traditional investment into infrastructure, but we think that really is driven by the need for the middle class to get affordable healthcare, get affordable education, and so forth.
Do you see many other your peers in the Middle East following your lead?
I think we've pioneered the Asia investment mandate. I think we're the only investment company in the Middle East that's focused exclusively on Asia.
Ahmad Al-Hamad, many thanks for coming in. Have a great trip again around the...
Thank you very much. Thank you, John.
On Bloomberg TV this morning.
Thanks
for coming in.